What's up, everyone? Welcome to the New Year's edition of Two Dudes, Two Dolls. I'm Jerry. We got Luke, as always. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about this week. I wanted to start with a little story. Back in my first band, my first real band that like practiced every weekend and
What were
everything.
they called again? It was Pluto.
Oh God, don't do this
I.
to me on the
It was
podcast. It
Pluto.
was called Love for Pluto.
Love for
Okay,
Pluto.
all right.
I always think
So
about Mickey. The dog. I think you guys are just always hugging, like you, Dylan, Matt, right?
yeah.
All hugging Pluto from Mickey Mouse. Like I don't know why. Probably because you guys were just at a wholesome age. But keep going. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's really funny because like we had nothing to do with that name and we didn't really write the music. We just made it interesting. I mean, kind of. Anyway, we would get together and practice every weekend and I have this neighbor. This dude sucks. Like there's just I may have even brought it up before on the
You have
podcast.
multiple times about drumming on Saturdays. I think the
Yeah.
story was he was like, "Bro, you fucking know that my wife is home on a Saturday night," and you're just like, "Dude, I know, but it's like 2 p.m."
Yeah, bro. So he's a big bitch, and this probably won't be the last time I talk about him. But I was thinking about this story, and it was a Love for Pluto practice, and we started at like 12 o'clock on a Sunday, like we always do. And he literally, he didn't text me, he didn't text my mom. He literally called the fucking cops. And the cops show up at the door and they're just kind of like, yeah, I mean, you you might have to not play today. But this dude's super rich and super entitled. They kind of go hand in hand.
He does.
Anyway,
He has a Range
um,
Rover.
he has a Range Rover, a Ferrari, a G Wagon. Oh my God, I got another story too. But
Love that G wagon.
yeah, this is the one I was gonna tell was after he called the cops on us, he felt so bad about it that he literally just bought me a PS4. And this was like back when the PS4 had just come out. He literally was just like, "Here's the PS4," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I guess apology accepted. What I think is funny is that I sold it and bought new symbols with it.
That's fucking
And I was
hilarious.
yeah, right. I was like, thanks, bro.
I was like, it's either weed or drum gear that you sold that shit for because I've never seen that PS4 in my life.
Yep. I
Uh,
had it for maybe like 2 weeks and sold it.
I have a similar story. So my band, we had our first show out of a garage, just like I think multiple fucking bands. Or if you didn't have it at a garage, you had it at the Fallout Shelter in Sewell, New Jersey.
Oh my God.
um,
Yo,
so
do you remember the jump zone, bro?
I played the Jump Zone.
Yeah, dude, so did I.
I loved the Jump Zone. Rest in peace to that place. So many great venues in Jersey have been just like this is a small tangent and it really hurts my heart, but like so many venues have been shut down because we live in such a weird conservative liberal state where people are like, fuck yeah, we love the music, but not in our town. It's the weirdest fucking shit. We like so many people are like, oh, you're in a band? That's awesome. Where do you play? Oh, that's cool. Philly? Yeah, Philly's a great place to play, but come to Jersey? Fuck off. We don't want you hooligans here. You smoke weed outside? Yeah. You drink outside? Yeah, in our vans. And then we drive. Like we're hooligans. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, I gotta say, being removed from it, I kind of get it.
I get it. No, I get it. But guess what? I also don't think that that's like we were responsible. Like we times we weren't responsible, but that's called being a young adult. That's called making mistakes. But those mistakes we've learned from, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think at a time now where we're all adults, like I just think it sucks that like you got to play a shitty bar where the bartender's a fucking dick, Cape May, New Jersey. And what's
I
that
don't
place?
even what show was that? I don't even remember.
What's that fucking venue called in Cape May? The fucking bar. I'm literally gonna. I'm not even gonna. I'm airing this fucking venue out right now. I don't even give a shit. Fuck, dude.
Did Space Cadets
Hell
play
yeah,
it?
everybody played that venue. It's the venue in Cape May that everybody plays. It's a bar. There's the ballroom and the stage, and then the bar is all the way to the left, and then outside there's like a bar and grill.
You're sure it's Cape May, not Atlantic City?
It's Cape May, dude. It's Cape May.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I've only played houses in Cape May, and those suck too.
Dude, it's fuck. Why can't I remember the name?
It's all right. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come at one point. But anyways, so basically, fuck like these bar venues where like a lot of them like. There was one time I played a show, and this is when I was Little Pie, and I get it. I'm a rapper. People look at rappers different than fucking full bands. But I brought like 5 people, and they were like, if you bring enough people, you get drink tabs. Cool. That makes sense. If somebody brings one person, they don't fucking get a drink tab. But I brought like 5 or 6 people, and I brought the fucking show apparently because nobody brought anybody. It was me,
God.
my friends, fucking Caleb, George, and then this random rapper. I got everybody on this. I go up, and then Austin's on about to get on stage to do his part in the one song,
Right.
and he's like, "Yo, you want me to grab a beer?" I was like, "Are they gonna make you pay for it?" And he was just like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Is it for me?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No, fuck them." I literally called them out on stage, like the bartender looked them in the face. I was like, "No, fuck her, man." Like, I brought 6. I didn't say it like this, but it was like a very quick.
Hey, listen,
like,
I brought 6 people.
yeah. Well, still, I brought literally everybody to that venue that venue wasn't getting any fucking money. No matter what.
Hey, is 6 more than they were gonna have?
It was a $10 ticket, right? So I brought them $60 instead of $0. I deserve one free beer.
All right.
One free beer. Just one. It's a $5 beer. I gave you $60.
Beer.
I'm sorry. It's a $1 beer because you guys charge $4 more for a beer that costs $1 out of a 6-pack. So just give me the fucking beer. But anyways, like, yeah, my tangent is basically that it sucks that New Jersey is so cool with music, but they don't want it over here. But basically, we're playing a garage show and the neighbor calls the cops. It's like 2 p.m. The cops show up and they watch the set.
Yo, just letting you know, right at this point in the podcast, my audio stopped recording, but I'm recording again. So
okay,
it is what it is.
Yeah, you weren't really talking much, so I could splice it together if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, right.
I'm the splice master.
But splice master.
But yeah, so the cops come and they're just like, yo, blah, 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 blah. And they tell us that we can't play past 10 p.m. We're like, easy. The show's going to be done in like 4. And then we're just going to like drink soda and like eat chips and try to hit on the girls who came to our show because we're 14. We're 14.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like it's freshman year of high school. That's what you did when you were in a band. You were like, that was the reason to be in a band. You got into a band because you wanted a girlfriend because you were a loser in middle school.
You can't play sports. You suck at those.
No, I was a sports player, but I smoked pot in like fucking 7th grade. And then after that, I was just like, yeah, fuck this baseball shit. I played baseball up until freshman year and I played football up until 8th grade. But like after that, I was just like, fuck that. Like I'm a musician. Like I've always done music. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be Ricky. Look, ready?
Oh no, here he comes.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You barely can see it.
Oh, I'm not even looking, honestly.
It's my Ricky Martin mug. I have a mug
with you and Ricky Martin.
Me and Ricky when we met. I don't even have I have the signed picture, the mug, and then I got a signed like painting. Well, it's not a painting, it's like this cardboard picture thing. Yeah, bro. I was a Ricky Martin fan from day fucking 1.
I love
La Vida Loca. I did that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally like that was the reason to get into a band. You just like were like, yeah, like in middle school, like either you played sports and you were the loser on the team on the bench, or you didn't play sports and you were like the emo kid. And I was both. I was literally both standards. I was the emo kid and I played sports. So I was the kid listening to like Escape the Fate And then I got to high
Amen.
school, and then I was just like, this thing in me tells me that I should talk to girls more. And then I was like, well, I like music, and I know girls like music. And that's how it always starts. I'm a singer. I literally thought this all out. I was like, I'm a singer. I'm the front. The girls are going to talk to me. And it worked, you know, and at 14 to like 16, it worked out. And then he turned 17, and the girls are just like, is this what you're going to do with your life? You're going to be in a band. What are you going to work at? McDonald's? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I was working at McDonald's when they would say type shit. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to work at McDonald's and then probably like end up at a warehouse
Yeah.
and then try to make music. And guess where I'm at?
Look where we're at.
I'm at a warehouse trying to make music.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I think since this is the 2021 episode, right? Like, yeah, because tomorrow's 2021. This is New Year's Eve, whatever. Cool. So this is the New Year's Eve episode. I think we should talk like resolutions. And also this is my third cup of coffee, so I'm a little uppity if anybody's noticed. But yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I know. Because I knew you were like, you look, Jerry's made a lot of progress in 1 year, and it makes a little sense that Jerry might have a little hard time to find a resolution. Because this dude,
here's my thing, bro. I've made, and I appreciate the compliments.
Mhm.
And I literally cut you off while you were trying to compliment me.
Yeah, no, because I'm still gonna finish it no matter what.
Here's my thing is I've made a lot of empty promises to myself over the years under the guise of long-term goals, resolutions, short-term goals, everything. I've called it everything, and it was none of it was anything more than an empty promise to myself. And I was sitting here thinking about it, and I was just like, I already have goals.
Yeah.
Like then they have nothing to do with the change of the calendar year. Like I got shit that I'm doing. And that's just like if I had a resolution, it would be keep doing what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, no, and I don't know if you've ever watched this or listened to the Brian Funk episode where he talks about like, I think he did. I think everybody in the podcast world right now is like resolutions. It's an easy topic, right? You know,
Right.
but like us, I think we always talk around the topic rather than in the topic. So I think that's why it's going to be a cool thing. And like what you said is like really a true thing. It's like I don't like having any resolutions. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to have like the pressure of like, geez, these kids having to
I literally heard that noise.
Yeah, they're just jumping up and down and shit. It's whatever, dude. It's 2021. Who gives a shit? Nobody, you know, like we're gonna be looking in the future, you know. But still, what I'm saying is like the whole essence, I think, of what I'm thinking about as like resolutions isn't even like not even small term goals. Like literally open Ableton once a day. That's one of my resolutions. Like small, like so fucking minuscule, but it means something. Like I think that's what the issues with what you were saying is like they're empty promises. But if you make a small promise to yourself, like I'm going to open my fucking book and look at my book for 2 seconds. I'm going to read 1 page. Like that's so small term that it's impossible not to do.
Yeah,
You know
I remember reading an article a couple years ago about like setting like minimal resistance goals. It's like if you're like I'm going to read however many pages a day or like however many books a year or a week or whatever, like just whatever you want to do, bump that all the way down to the point where like it's literally almost impossible to not get it done. Granted that it's something that you actually want to do. Like if you want to read more next year, be like, I'm gonna open a book and
look at it.
Yeah.
Not even read it. Don't even read it.
Yeah. Doesn't even matter.
So the whole mentality is that And here's the issue. We have phones, right? Like that's the hard thing with doing this like 1% model. That's like how I like to think about it. You're doing 1% of the task, and that 1% usually gets overwhelmed by 99% of creativity, just boredom. So you're looking at a book and you're like, I might as well read this fucking thing. It's right in front of me. And that 99% kicks in where now you're reading, right? So
Yeah.
the hard thing is like, this is my biggest issue. I spend so much time on my phone, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like actually like that I'm like spending my time and just like zoning out. I'm paying attention to things. Like I'm paying attention to like trends and like music trends. Like bro, I don't even know how many times I just like be watching Anthony Fantano for like 8 hours in my day. But like the cool thing about it is then I go and listen to the music and it's like, oh, I found something cool. But the whole issue is that I spend so much time on my phone that it's now getting to a point where it's getting a little bad, where I wake up and I'm like, oh, like my morning ritual, let me do this shit. And then it's just like TikTok. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, all right. Click it. Oh, it's a 60-second video. And then you think about it and you're like, I just went through 30 videos. You went through 30 minutes of just nothing. So like it's starting to like get to that point where it's bad. But like what I'm saying is like that distraction is so hard. So like what I've started doing for like when I'm trying to do my like my like morning ritual, my 1% ritual type shit, I have locks on all my apps now. I lock all my apps. I lock, well, except the ones that I use, like my Peak app, my Quiz Tones, all the apps that I use to like train myself.
The productivity apps.
Yeah. But like I lock them up until like 1 p.m. So I can't use them. And like I can hit like, oh, remind me in 15 minutes, but like I get this guilt when I like open the app and this white screen's like, do you want to do this, you piece of shit? And it's just like, it's just like, nah, you're right. Let me just go fucking take a shower and get my day started. You're right.
Right.
But I think like resolutions have these out like grandiose ideas where it's just like, I'm going to quit smoking today. And it's just like, bro, you've been doing this for like 10 years. Like you can't just decide today you're going to quit. Like it's hard. Like I've done that. I've like, I'm a vapor. You're a vapor. Like I've quit.
I like how you referred to me as a vapor.
Yeah.
Vape gang.
We vape, we evaporate. But yeah, no, basically like I did that for 6 months. But like the hard thing about cold turkey is you don't get, it's literally like a relationship. You don't get closure. It's so fucking weird, dude. You don't get closure. So like,
that's really funny.
Yeah, like
I never
so like
thought about it like that.
That's what it is. You quit and then you're just like, well, what if like you find out that like there's a lot of studies coming out that nicotine actually isn't really nicotine. Let me emphasize this.
Yeah.
Nicotine isn't bad. It cures or it helps with Alzheimer's. That's why a lot of people who smoke their whole life don't have Alzheimer's. They're saying that it could be used for not tobacco. Nicotine can help with like the lungs for COVID. Like there's a lot of like useful things. And you hear that and you're like, well, like I can't like it's not bad for you, like nicotine, but like the only thing I can get are the bad things. So then you fucking smoke a vape. And then like, cause like, yeah, like you get, again, it's like closure. Yeah. Your girlfriend might have had, you might've had some good sex. She might've, you know, bought you things and stuff like that. And like, you think about it, you're like, damn, that was good. Should I go back? But like, no, she fucking hit you with your car or like some bullshit like that. And you can't go back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's like when you quit vaping, it's just like, I need it because like it made me feel good, but I know it's bad for me. So it's a hard thing to just quit cold turkey. So the whole, like my whole tangent is like, don't get yourself in a situation of going cold turkey, I guess. Like, don't like small goals are the best, and not even small goals in a sense of like what I said, like, I'm going to read, like, I don't ever say when I open my book, I'm finishing this book. I never say that. It's gotten to a point where I go, okay, I'm going to read 2 pages. And now it's to a point where I'm like, okay, I will read a whole chapter. or like, and that's fine. Like I think you need to, if you're not used to setting goals, or you haven't, or like you've just gone off the path a little bit in your life, you have to train yourself to do these things. Like they're hard. It's hard to realign yourself with productivity and like like technically like music. Like it's only up to us to make it a thing that is reality. If you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's
Right.
only up to us to make it a monetizable thing. Like all of these things rely on us. And if you can't get yourself in line to just like setting like some small productivity, like that's why I only practice in the morning. It's not, I am not capable of doing it throughout my whole day right now. And I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
pressure myself to do that, because if I pressure myself to do that, I have an issue where I crash and I can't do anything, you know? So
Right.
it's just like, you got to, it's a thing to train. Reading, you have to train yourself to read. Like I am a terrible reader, but I am way better than I was in high school now, because I read every
Right.
day. Like I have dyslexia, so it's hard for me to read, but like reading every day, it helps me now read. Like, cause I'm like seeing where my dyslexia fucks me up and stuff. And it's just like, like you got to train your brain. Your brain's powerful, like a very powerful thing. And it likes, like my therapist always says this, it likes to sit in negativity. It's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy. Your brain is wired to be negative. Like it's meant to be that way, because we used to be eaten and now
Yeah.
we're
Well,
not
it's just
eaten.
it's like in survival mode.
Yeah. And I was watching this Joe Rogan podcast with this dude. We can't rely on emotions. Like we rely so hard on our emotions, but like we don't live in a time where we need those like deep emotions of like anxiety and like stuff like that. So it's just like meditation, back right to it. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
like people who meditate, you learn how to like look at your emotion from a distance. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just basically saying like, I think what people do is put too much pressure on themselves to finish or add or do something with their goals. And it's just like, nah, like make it the most easy goal in the world. Make it,
Yeah.
make it, I'm going to start drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. Like that's how you like that's your like start of the day. Like I'm starting my day. The first goal should be how to start my day. Like like that type of stuff. Like if like if you
You
just
know, if
feel
my
like you're
resolution was to drink a cup of coffee in the morning, I would just like to say I would be crushing the fucking game.
yep, yep.
um,
You
no,
got to make
you
yourself
hit
feel
on
good.
some. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like I feel like so much that comes along with the resolutions thing is like changing. I don't know, just like changing yourself and like I guess it's like always rooted in being like hypercritical of yourself. And I think it's interesting how you were talking about like my goal is to wake up and drink a cup of coffee. And like it's funny because like that sounds so foreign because I feel like most people's goal would be like I want to drink less coffee or like they wouldn't have a small goal like that. It'd be like I want to wake up and I want to meditate and then I want to practice and then I
Yep.
want to hit the gym. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I was thinking while you were talking of a couple things like number one, I wanted to say like I am by no means trying to like gatekeep New Year's resolutions or be like a pessimist about it. Like if that makes you feel good, like set them fucking resolutions. But like
But it's
the
a real
biggest
concern.
the biggest thing is just like don't beat yourself up if and when you don't like get to everything. Like and that's kind of where I'm at with it is like I am so good at hyper analyzing myself and listing all these things that I need to change, but it just like it's a process and it's not going to happen overnight. And I have enough positive things going on in my life where I'm just like, man, if I just like keep doing this, like one day at a time, soon enough, shit will just start falling into line. And it's like, okay, like now I got now I'm doing this thing every day. Cool. Like, um, then it's like kind of on to the next thing. And I feel like I've just like been on this like natural like progression kind of thing where I'm like, I don't even fucking really need to like make any resolutions. I just gotta like keep doing what I'm doing and everything's gonna fall into place, you know? And
Yeah.
and another thing I was thinking about was that I feel like I think it might be gone. It'll come back. It's okay. You can chime in.
Yeah. I lost my thing too. But oh, I got it. I think your resolution should just be to chill.
Yeah.
Like that, like that's what I mean. It's that simple. It's
Mm-hmm.
like what you said when everybody's like, oh, I need to get my morning routine. It's like you cannot change your fucking life in one day. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to find the one thing, like the waking up and drinking a cup of coffee, right? That like if that was my resolution, the reason would be that as soon as I wake up, I look at my phone. But if I don't look at my phone and I just go straight to make a pot of coffee, because I don't have an issue with coffee. I drink 3 cups a day. I used to drink 8, 10. Like I'm good now. You know, I'm fine. I'm fine where I'm at. So if I wake up and the first thing I do is drink a cup of coffee and I don't look at my phone because that's my issue right now, that's a better step in the right direction.
All right.
That's all it is. And then I think the best thing to do is my New Year's resolution is to better suit myself.
All
That's all.
right.
That should be everybody's New Year's resolution because
Yeah.
it's just like and when I yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but like
No, I love it.
when I said like you got to make yourself happy, like what I mean is like I have goals throughout the day, right? Like I said, like oh, I got to do this today, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to finish this track, I got to upload this podcast. But at every end of my night, I leave 2 hours for myself and like 2 good hours. I play a video game for an hour and then I just fucking bake that whole time for two
Mm,
hours. And it's just like I watch some YouTube and I feel great because it's like I did a lot of stuff that made me uncomfortable at times, right?
mm-hmm.
Like sitting down and like, oh, I don't have an idea. What am I going to do? And working on that rather than running away from it. You know, like I worked on that, so I deserve something good. You know, get done an 8 hour shift. It feels good to like give yourself some. Like you got to treat yourself. We talked about this last
Yeah,
episode. You
man.
have to treat yourself. Like you can't just beat yourself up every day. Like it
Yeah.
like being the like fucking professional at beating myself up. Eventually, it fucking gets to you real bad where you have like a freak out and your mind just like is off the fritz and you think everybody's against you. And it's just, it's better to give yourself that time to relax than pressure yourself into making something. And I know the issue is you hear so many success stories of people working 24 hours a day at their craft, but you don't have 24 hours. Like if you're working a 40-hour job, you don't have 24 hours. And if you're working a 40-hour job plus trying to do your thing, like you're going to overwhelm yourself. You need time. Like
Mm-hmm.
these people who always like become successful from whatever they're doing usually look at their situation. Like this is a big thing my therapist talks to me about. Look at their situation and are you only looking at the positives?
Right.
Are you
Right.
looking at any of the negatives? Are you looking at that wealth that they had probably from a young age? Probably
Yeah,
not.
it's yo, I gotta jump in real
Yeah.
quick because it's real easy to like look at someone um and look at all those positives. But and I never like when I see a dude talking all that good shit on YouTube telling me how to change my life and what he did and how productive he is, like I'm never thinking about like this dude might be a shitty fucking father because he puts his work before his kids, or like this dude might be a shitty partner, or like like ad infinitum, like it's
Yeah.
just you
Or he
always
might be
are.
utterly depressed because
Yes.
he has nothing but his YouTube page or he doesn't have a girlfriend, nothing. You know what I mean? Like you don't look at those things because
Right.
this is the issue with social media. We don't see the negative side. We only see the overly highlighted positive side of somebody's life. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why like cancel culture is such a big thing because it's just like not that, but like I'm saying, like people get a razz when they see somebody who used to be in the limelight for being good. Like Ellen, let's go Ellen, right? Ellen
Right.
was a fucking beautiful person, everybody thought. And then everybody was like, well, no, she fat shamed this one person. Lizzo, I think she fat shamed on behind the scenes or somebody. And like
Right.
her producers were a piece of shit and nobody does anything. And it's just like, oh, that's terrible. But it feels good to the regular person to be like, fuck that rich motherfucker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, that's why, like, in those situations, I want to specify in those situations. I'm not talking about anything else, but like people doing something like, what's the word? Emotionally wrong. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 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 I lost my thing. But basically, like, you don't see that Ellen is probably just a piece of fucking shit. Like, you only see like on TV how she is America's like sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you don't get to see the bad of anything, because that's what media is. You don't put out bad media. Why would you put out bad media?
Right.
I mean, we do put out negative media now, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
like,
No, I
on
get it.
yourself. Like, so it's a big thing to think about. Like, when you're looking at your like entrepreneur guy, like, a lot of these people talk about that they gave up 20 years of their life,
Right.
like, gave up, like, family, friends, kids, gave up, but now they
Right.
have it, so they're building that now. But it's just like, a lot of those people that are wealthy, and I'm not saying all of them, usually come from wealth. You know what I mean? And like,
Right.
that's another thing. That's a negative. Like, I am so happy I didn't wake up to $6 million. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't just be born and pop out. My mom's like, here's a fucking diamond earring, you piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a material, like, they live a materialistic life, and it's not wrong. It's just like, when you have so much money, that's what you live. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. You gotta, you know what the thing is? You gotta look at the negatives in these situations. When you're on social media, you always have to have a negative idea. You know, you can't look at the
Right.
positive, because like, it,
Because
it,
it makes you feel like shit about
yeah,
yourself,
I
you
feel like
know?
shit almost every day. I look at social media until I have that thought where I'm like, okay, but like, he might be beating his girlfriend, or like,
Right.
okay, like he might be like not talking to his kids or paying child support or stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, man.
so and it's a bad way to think, but you have to, like, you kind of have to think that way right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all just like taking, and this is like, once again, going back to like the meditation, like I think training your brain in that field allows you to like pull back away a little bit. So when I'm scrolling through my Instagram, I'm not thinking like, look at everyone's life that's better than mine, or like, look at all these people who are doing better than me. And like, and to like bring that into music, like, dude, I used to watch these Instagram drummers and be like, man, like they're just like so fucking sick. Like, and if I could put that hustle in, man, like I'd be right there with them. And then I think about it and it's like these people have like never written a song in their life, like they just post videos of them playing licks on Instagram. And then I just think about like all the struggle in my life too. It's like some people just like don't have that. Like they just have like a super normal childhood and everything like that. Like I still like with all my shit, I still come from like a privileged side of the ball game. But
We're in
like
Jersey.
what
Most of us do.
yeah, but like I can think of a lot of people in my extended family where like that just wasn't that just wasn't a thing. Like there was like two parents, they had everything that they could want. Like yeah, like it's just like you got to stop comparing yourself to people who don't have your story. Like it's just so counterproductive.
Yeah, well, that big can't thing, that's a big issue too. It's like, when you go, because it's natural, right? You know your limitations, right? We all know our limitations, but we also know that we can break free of our limitations. Like we can break past the walls and reach the next wall and jump that wall and keep, in music, there's always a wall. There's never ending walls. If you think there's an ending wall, guess what? You're fucked, because you're just gonna stop. I've had a guitarist who thought they were the best guitarist and they were fucking phenomenal, an amazing guitarist, but thought they didn't have to learn anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big issue. But the can't thing is such a weird thing, because it's just like you go, why can't, or like you're watching that drummer and you're like, I can't do that. I don't have the time. I can't do that. You can. You 100% can. Like that's the biggest thing is like throughout, no matter like, and it's like no matter what struggle you have, you can do that. It's just you got to find your, like, all right, I work 40 hours, I pay rent, but I still find, like, I've found my way to still pay for music, still pay for a lot of the things that I have. And like, and it's just like, at first I was scared. I was probably going to have to sell some things. But I found a way, because I didn't take that can't. I just went, how can I?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say can't, you got to say, how can I? Like when you watch somebody on ripping on them drums and they're doing like the craziest paradiddles and doing the craziest fills and the rolls and whatever else, you just got to go, how can I do that? Rather than how can I, or why can't I do that? Because the why can't already puts you into a, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's,
I heard like just add yet, like I can't yet.
I don't even like the word can't.
Yeah.
I'm big into these like changing phrases things. Like one of my new ones is, I don't say I'm gonna anymore. I stopped. I say if I. So instead of being like, all right, when I get home, I'm gonna practice piano. That has such a fucking negative connotation to it. It's like, you have to do this. Like, it's like, if you don't do this, you're fucking yourself up. So instead I go, if I do my piano work, I can play video games.
Right.
So then one, there's a goal for after my goal to relax. So it's just like in my morning, if I finish my morning routine, I can watch YouTube and eat breakfast. Well, not eat breakfast, but eat lunch, right? Eat lunch. It's like 1 p.m. when I'm normally done. So it's just like, that's another resolution. It's just like changing your, like, I'm not even like giving my resolutions at this point. I'm just being like, yo, if you need a resolution, here's one. But like changing your perspective, like words, like as we were younger, we were told words can't hurt, but like words matter especially to yourself. Like what you say to yourself really matters. And if you break promises to yourself, that's like, that was a big issue of mine, is that I would always break a promise to myself. I would always be like, I'm going to do this and that. And then I wouldn't. And then you start to not trust yourself. And that's a really scary thing to go through, is like not even like not being able to be like, yo, I want to do this. But in the back of your head, it's just like, yeah, but like you always say you want to do this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think like so much of the resolution thing is based upon like it's almost like if we have to do any of these, like if we're going to do these, we need to have some serious self-discipline. And newsflash, like if you had like a really good sense of self-discipline, like you probably wouldn't feel the need to like list all these things. Like you'd all be doing it. Like here's the thing, like we're not fucking robots. And I just think it's so much more productive to just be a little like kinder to yourself. And also like, let's not beat around the bush. Like you got to be realistic, dude. Like all my resolutions for the past, what am I, like 23? I mean, I probably, like my mom, it used to be like pre-COVID, it used to be like this tradition, like we'd go out New Year's Eve and then we'd get breakfast at the diner in the morning and we'd all talk about our resolutions. And
yo, I used to do the same thing actually.
Right?
I think we would get like dessert at Friendly's after, like, because we would go. No, we would go to my grandma's in Virginia, and the whole family would be there. Rest in peace to those moments, man. God, that sucks, man. Split families
Yeah.
suck, bro. That's all I can say. But it was dope. You know, you get around the fucking circle. Everybody's fucking drunk as fuck except you because you're 10. And your grandfather looks at you, looks at your mom, and he goes, fucking sip this real quick. And you take a shot of Crown Royal at 11 or 10 years old, and you feel it. And you fucking feel it. So now you're with the adults. Now you're partying with that was the thing. Like, fuck yeah to my grandpa. He was the best. He was the best. He would always be like in those. He is. I'm talking like he's fucking dead. That's sad. But um, I'm sorry to cut you off. But he was just that dope guy who was just
Fine.
like, he would be like, "All right, your parents aren't looking. Fucking sip this shit. Hurry up, get out of here." Or he'd be like, make sure your fucking cousins don't see this. Hand you 20.
Right.
Like type shit like that. Because he
Right.
was trashed all the time and he had money. He was like, yeah,
Right.
your dad doesn't give you money. Here's some money.
Right.
You know? But
Yeah,
yeah.
our thing was always New Year's Day at the diner, like in the morning. And it was just like everyone would just rifle off a fuck ton of unrealistic goals that none of us, that we knew damn well that we weren't gonna do. And it's fun, like it's fun to like pretend and like and like reflect a little bit and think about some things that are like possibly important to you.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but I feel like for me personally, I'm just like kind of over that, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm doing okay. Like my big thing that I've been realizing is that like I'm so terribly hard on myself. And like I am harder on myself than I have ever been on another person. And newsflash, like I've been a fucking dickhead to some people. I've been real hard on some people. And still they didn't get half of what I tell myself. And that's still like, even though like I'm genuinely like a pretty nice guy and a pretty good guy today, and I don't really like people don't like me, but like I like to think that I don't really bother anyone because I just like try to treat everyone with love, respect, kindness, you name it. Um, so like that's not like I'm not really a dick to anyone anymore. Like I try hard not to be, at least. But like I'm a fucking dick to myself. Like I am so mean to myself
Well,
to this day.
it has like a correlation. So they think my therapist, we might as well get him a fucking podcast at this point, bro. I've mentioned him like 4 times today. My therapist would tell me that um, so when you have a negative thinking pattern, usually when you don't understand it, which is like a normal thing, you don't normally think that you're negative to yourself until like you really like hear it, I guess is the best way to
Mhm.
explain it. But usually before that, you will treat people like shit. And it's
Mm.
because you're having these negative thoughts. So you think those people have those thoughts as well. So
Mhm.
because you think everybody thinks alike, because that's what we're kind of taught, like throughout school, we all think similarly, but we don't at
Right.
all. We all have vast thinking patterns and very different like think like people some people see things when they think. I don't. I mean, I don't think I do. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
like I don't, when somebody says elephant, I don't see elephant. I see the word, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a whole thing where like some people will see an elephant and like picture it. Like if you
Yeah,
really
some
like,
people have the inner monologue. Like
yep,
I don't like
I have an inner monologue. I
I
talk to myself all day.
yeah, like I used to think like when that first like was kind of like a thing on Twitter, I can slip into inner monologue mode, but I've realized like I don't have it. Like it's
Oh,
just I just be thinking.
I talk to myself all day.
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
when and I mean, you do have an inner monologue because like you're just not, again, you're not thinking about it. That negative
Right.
thinking is an inner monologue. That's your inner monologue, but you got to learn how to like
Yeah, it
my
just
inner
doesn't have a voice.
well, I mean, how would you explain your negative thinking? Is it like something telling you that you suck, or is it that you feel that you suck? You know
I
what I
don't
mean? Like,
fucking know. It spans the whole spectrum. Like some days it's like looking in the mirror and be like, you are fucking worthless. And some days it's just like, it's more of like like I fuck something up at work and I'm like, I suck, you know?
Now, is that like, are you when you're thinking like that, right? Are you purposefully like, are you like, how do I explain this? Are you in a situation where you're just like thought, like words are coming to you? Like, is it like I suck, I'm worthless, or is it like because like if you have an inner
Yeah, no,
monologue,
it's words, but
so you
like I
have an
think
inner monologue, it's just negative.
yeah,
Because
but I think the whole conversation with about the inner monologue wasn't like we all think, we all have thoughts, but like you actually have a voice. Like, do you hear a voice when you think? Like, is it
I
your
hear my
voice?
voice. Yeah, I hear my voice.
Yeah, like I don't hear a voice. It's just like abstract thought. You know what I mean?
No.
Um,
Yeah, I
regardless
literally
though.
have sentences like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to add this like it'll literally be like I look at the reverb, oh, I'm gonna add freeze to this one part because it does this, and I'm like talking to myself. Like sometimes I literally talk.
Yeah,
Like I'll be like caught in my thought, like my inner monologue, and I'll be like, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, oh shit, I just said that. Okay,
right.
like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, like and don't get me wrong, like I said, I do the same thing and I think in sentences. It's just like I don't hear a voice. It's so hard to explain. I don't
no, I think
like
I understand. Like
it
when I'm walking into work, I literally have something in my head being like I am walking into work. Like I
right.
like I'm
Right, right,
talking to
right.
myself saying I'm walking to work. Like or it's like, oh, I gotta clock in. Like I like I I have when I'm experiencing something, I am hearing myself experience it. If
Right,
that makes
right.
any sense. Like it's
Yeah.
like I'd be talking to myself. Like
No,
Jarrett
I
is
get it.
talking to me. We are
Yeah.
doing a podcast. Like it's weird.
Yeah, no, like I get it. I don't have that, but I get it to an extent. And I to tie this into music production, it's like dude, I had a really bad night, like, let's say Thursday, I think it was Tuesday night, maybe Monday night. I
Bro, I
was,
just got my stimulus check.
did you really?
I just got my fucking stimulus check.
Really?
You can't see it because of the background. Yeah, I just got says 600 deposited and I had a 45 negative balance and it says 555.04.
Am going to check.
Go check, bro. What the fuck? I thought they
Bro,
said the fourth.
I'm finna get stimulated, bro.
Well, I have my rent and now I have like $1,400. I can like
Right.
pay my rent with this money. I'm so fucking happy.
I
Except
didn't get stimulated
you might
yet.
get it. You might get it tomorrow. I have an online bank, so I know. Like I got my stimulus check, my first one, a week after they announced the first stimulus check.
Right.
So I got mine like, bam.
Yeah, I remember you getting the first one before me.
Everybody was so fucking pissed off. They're like, "You already got it," and I was like, "Yeah, you didn't get yours yet." And they're like, "No." And then I was like, "Well, I just bought a Mac, so."
That's funny. Yeah, it's
To a
fine.
small
I'm like,
business. To a small business, by the way. I bought a Mac from a family-owned business because I care about small businesses. I went out of my way. I was going to get it from Apple, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like this company sells it $200 cheaper and they're from Florida. And I know Florida's getting hit right now. Let's send them my money.
right. Anyway,
Sorry.
back to what we were. No, you're fine. Congrats on getting stimulated, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm
Um,
stimulated as fuck. My nips are hard.
fuck yeah. But yeah, like I was like beating myself up real bad, um, the other night, because I needed to send my final mixes out to get mastered. I had to do it.
Do you
Um,
sweat when you get mad? I don't.
sometimes, yeah,
That's a weird question. I sweat every time I'm in that moment of
yeah.
like
Like
I need to get this out right now.
I legitimately get heated.
Yeah, no, same. Like my pits start drenching. I'm like sweating from my head, and I'm just thinking, like
Yeah.
that's crazy, dude. But go on.
Yeah, real quick side note. It's funny. Last night, I was I was with a friend and she was like, are you hot right now? And, like, I can turn the fan on. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I was just like she was doing her work and I was writing. And I was writing about like honestly, I was writing about like my resentments with myself. And
That's good.
and then and then like I was just like, yeah, you know what? You can turn the fan on because after like 5 minutes, I was getting sweaty because
Yeah, dude.
I was getting hot.
It's because you're working it out.
Yeah, bro.
That's what it is. Like your body recognizes that you like your brain's a muscle. Like when you're thinking deep, your brain is I'm pretty sure it burns calories. Like
Mhm.
I will look it up and put it in the show notes. We need a Jamie, bro. We need somebody here because I just be raffling off some information and like it could be half true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like the Alex Jones of the music podcast world. I just be like the fucking bass clef is treble. I was about to
That's
say
funny.
the frogs thing, but I was like, I don't even want to say that. But
Right. But yeah, like I was really like being unbelievably hard on myself the other night about these final mixes. And I it was just like it was so unnecessary and like it was just like I don't know, it's just misplaced. Like I didn't need to be that hypercritical and it was just like Jack was like, dude, like don't listen to it
yeah,
for like at least like a day or two. Like if you can wait a week, but don't listen to it cuz you're fucking going off the rocker right now. And and then I just kind of was like it has to get done tonight. So I went in and I just like I finished it up to the best of my ability and I sent it out for mastering and I was like I'm not listening to it till I get the masters back. And like I got the masters and it sounds fucking great, you know?
I generally think you should practice meditating in those moments. Fucking
I've
5
been
minutes.
slacking on my meditation.
Dude, okay, ready?
Yeah,
Who
who
cares if
isn't?
you're who I'm not. I meditate every day, bro. You saw my Instagram post. I have 1,142 minutes in meditation. I've been rocking out here.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. But I'm not going to compare myself to you because my life is not the same as yours, you know?
No, and here's the thing is what I'm saying is not everybody can do that. I need to do it or else I'll be like a grump for my whole day.
Right.
Like you're not like that at all. Like you're very positive up and I'm assuming up until those moments. So what I'm saying is don't do like a 20-minute fucking meditation. Do like a 5-minute meditation, dude. Just during that moment and I'm telling you you will see that highway of thoughts and you'll be like, "Why? Like who like
Yeah,
I
man.
get that you're working for a client, but
Oh no, this was the hard part is that this was my music and my
oh,
production.
then ready?
It's even worse.
No, it's even easier. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Who's going to listen to it? Like think and I'm not being negative about this. I'm trying to give it a positive light. Me, Jack, Kevin, a couple
Yeah.
of your other friends, like dude, we're all going to love it. Like
Yeah,
why?
I
Like
know,
you got to
man.
think of it like that. It's like
I
when
know.
I showed you that song, I knew the only people who are going to really fucking listen to it are you, Kevin, AJ, George, Colin, and then maybe some of AJ's friends. And I don't know them. So it's not even like a thing for me. Like
Yeah, man.
you got to think of it like that. And that's why I'm saying meditate. Because once you do that, you're going to look at it and be like, bro, you're going to be like Ed Bassmaster.
Psh.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to brush it off easily. And that's like what I do. I don't even meditate for 5 minutes. I just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, get myself into that like roll. And then as
Mhm.
soon as I feel good, I just focus on my breathing. And as soon as I feel good on that, bam, right back to what I'm doing. It could be 2 minutes most.
Yeah, man.
And that's the thing that many people don't know about meditation is like once you practice it, like I'm not saying all day, every day. I do that because I have to, but like once you just practice it when you're feeling those moments, that's what it's meant for. It's not meant to start your day. Like it is, but it isn't at the same time. Like you can meditate whenever the fuck you want. It's 3 a.m. You're having a panic attack. Meditate. You know,
Mhm.
like it's hard to do it in that moment. I've had those moments. You've literally, well, you didn't personally witness me, but or you did, but like in what was that, Kansas City,
Yeah, where yeah.
and I had a
Yeah.
full breakdown and had to call my mom because I was that fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, I remember Matt walking in and him being like, "You good, man?" And I was crying. I was like, "No, man. Like, I don't know what's going on." Everything was swirling. It was my first panic attack I've ever had. Like real
Right.
bad panic attack. I've had anxiety attacks, but I've never had something where like my world was spinning from anxiety because I saw a
Right.
sign that said 300 miles or like 170 miles to the closest like hospital, and I went, I
Right. Right.
was like, I drink a lot. What happens if I, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think negative thinking is a thing that, and again, like I said, it is natural. So like, you're not the only one who does this. Every person does this. That's a good thing to think
Yeah,
about
man.
social media too. Is like first of all, every artist that you look at has a fucking crew to prevent his fucking writer's block.
Right.
They're throwing him cheese while he has a hamburger. You know what I mean? Like he's just always like if he only has a portion of it, they're always there to throw him the other, you know, the bone,
Right.
you know? So it's just like even with like a lot of undercover artists, like they have they have teams around them. They have like even if there aren't paid teams, they're like buddies or like people like me. Like when you would try something out and be like, you know, like they have
Mhm.
people around them that help. And when you're just by yourself, like you're by yourself with your thoughts and you are like 10 times more critical on yourself
Yeah.
when you're alone. And it's just like sometimes you just got to think about yourself from the outside perspective. And I feel we always get into this because this is like the big thing about music, I think, is like this negative thinking is a thing because it's as I said earlier, it's not real. It's not something that like you can like I can't back on my music right now. You can't either. Like none of us can just be like, all right, I made this album, I'm quitting my job, doing it.
Right.
Like none of us can do that. A lot of people can't do that. And when they're starting the music, they can't. So it's just like it's the toxin of all of our careers. And that's what makes
Yeah.
or breaks people. It's like you can either deal with the pressure or can't. And sometimes I can't, but like
Mhm.
I don't overwhelm myself by taking a break. Like TikTok, like I was popping on TikTok, but it was overwhelming me because I had to like I was really dedicated and I wanted to find a new thing to show on TikTok every day. But then I'm like, oh, what happens if I start running out of things to do? And I'm not really that great at music right now and like production, and I'm not the most amazing. And so I had to take a break from it. And like I plan on getting back on that shit. But you gotta let yourself cool sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think that's what like Jack was saying. But then you have those uh times where you can't.
Yeah.
Like a dude.
You know what I was thinking is like about you know how they say golf and like I would even argue like bowling as well. I think golf and bowling are two sports where it's like all mental,
Mm-hmm.
you know, more or less. Like there's physical elements, but like it's mostly a mental game. Music production is so much of a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the battle,
Yeah.
you know?
You're golfing, bro. And
Yeah,
that
bro.
I mean, shit, bro. You want to start golfing?
Yeah, I'm down. I mean I used to be
I've
okay.
never golfed, so I might swing it like a bat,
Yeah. I'm
but
down.
I'm
Let's
just
go
trying to
golfing.
find like yeah, because that's another thing is like it's it's good to find those games that find patience, right? Like that's
Mhm.
why I've been sadly enjoying the pandemic because like I am practicing the most patience. Like I don't do anything. You know me, dude. I sit at home. I go to work. I might be going to Brandon's tonight. You know, like I
Mhm.
don't leave my house. And like that sucks. That annoys me. But you know, it's cool is that when I get to go out and do things again, I'm going to be able to feel good with not spend like being like, I can't spend this 20 tonight because I'm gonna need it for tomorrow. Like I'm gonna be better with that. I'm gonna be better with like oh, yo, you guys are going out. That sucks. I have to work. Like instead of like going from like Starbucks where I was up at 4 and then I could do anything I fucking wanted after. Now it's just like I have limitations to what I can do, but I've been doing it so long that it doesn't really affect me. Like some people will be like, "Oh, what are you doing Thursday?" I'm like, "Working." And it used to upset me, but now I'm just like, "You know what? You got to do this. You got Saturday and Sunday."
Yeah.
You know, like, and you can do a lot with those days. You can fucking, like, I don't know. Like I think, and again, with the negative thinking is like, instead of negatively thinking about the pandemic, which it sucks, it's hard not to negatively think. I think about it negatively every day, but you got to find the positives in everything. That's like what life
Yeah.
is, man. It's just, look, here's another thing. Practice gratitude. When you're sitting there and you're making a beat or you're making a track
Yeah,
or
I'll
you're
tell you what, I
mixing,
write a gratitude list every single night.
it's so fucking good. Or do it when you're in, again, when you're in that moment. Practice your gratitude. When I'm
Yep.
sitting here frustrated, I look at my fucking Ableton push, I look at my keyboard, I look at my room, I look at my Mac, and I go, not many people have this.
Yeah, it ain't so
Not many,
bad.
no, not many people have this opportunity. Not many people can even not many people can even own a computer. Like, a majority of the people cannot own a computer. We are very lucky to be where we are. We're lucky to fight over internet shit. We're lucky to fight about canceling celebrities. And like, it's such a weird thought to have, but like those things we should be grateful that we have the opportunity, because you could be in Somalia where they're burning our computers and then being murdered if they don't work hard enough, or something of those, like, you know what I mean? Like they can't even use the computers that we're sending them because they have to destroy them.
Mm.
Like it's like that mentality where it's just like, and that's a sick cycle, but it's like, be grateful for what you have, because as what it seems right now, this fucking shit can end very quickly, very quickly. What we have in America, and my standings about America. I don't like our political system a lot of the times. You know me. I'm not an anarchist, and I'm not fucking anything. I'm very center, and I like to
Mm-hmm.
look at my society in a way and judge it off of that. Um, and we're not in a good place right now, and I could see that becoming a worse thing at times. And yeah, I think I'm just saying, like, in a deep sense, just be grateful for what you have. If you fucking have Ableton Live Lite and you don't have the fucking EQ8 and you don't have the fucking Echo and you don't have all the cool plugins, well, be grateful you have Light. You got that shit for free. Be
Mm-hmm.
grateful. Just be happy that you can make music. Be happy that you can wake up today and decide to make music. Be happy that you can wake up. Be happy that, like,
Yeah.
and like in those moments, I think that's a really good thing to practice, is like
Yeah,
just
man.
being like, I'm happy I'm creative.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't hear music in their head like me or you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't even hold a note. Some
Yeah.
people can't understand music, like
Yeah.
it's a gift that we have that we don't ever appreciate. And I'm learning how to appreciate it recently,
Yeah.
because I talk a lot of my friends at work. I'm like, yo, I make music. They're like, I can never. And I look at them. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right. You can't, bro. Like, look at you. You can't hold a rhythm. You barely can drive this tugger, you know? So,
it can be learned.
everything. If you can learn how to sing, you can learn how to do anything with music. If that's that blew my fucking mind when I was
Even if you
younger.
don't know how to sing, I know like fucking some
No,
tone deaf
I'm,
people that are.
I'm just saying that not everybody thinks that they're not a singer, right? Like people who have a bad voice, they think, oh, I'm not a singer. You know what the craziest fucking thing about singing is?
Right.
You can become a singer. You can train. Jack Black sounded like shit. This is like the one thing I learned as a kid. Jack Black was not a singer. He wasn't great at singing. For a role that he wanted to do, I think it was for the Kid Rock, or the Kid, what is
The
that?
School of Rock.
School of Rock, dude. I don't know.
Kid
It's been
Rock.
years. But for the School of Rock role, I think he like had to learn and take lessons, and that's what really launched his career as a musician.
Right.
He couldn't sing before, but now he can. Like he could do the rock scream thing, but that was all he was good at. But like what I'm saying is anybody could sing. That's not really a good example. I don't have anybody that I know that went from like to, you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
but if that's possible, anything is possible with music. I'm just saying that a lot of people aren't born with the creativity aspect.
Yeah.
you know?
And a lot of people like will want to learn their whole life. Like I know some old dudes that are like, I always wanted to learn how to play guitar.
And that's why I'm learning now.
And I'm like, yeah, man. It's not
Just
too
pick it
I
up.
always tell them it's not too late, but it always reminds me to be like I can and I'm happy about that, you know.
You're I wonder what instrument I'll be learning at 80. Because I'm not gonna stop. I literally am like, after learning piano, I'm like, I want to learn the trumpet again. I want to learn guitar. I want to
Yeah.
learn, because like once you understand music theory, and that's why piano is so fucking important, is because everybody's like, piano is hard. It's like, you're right. If you don't understand anything with theory, it is probably the hardest instruments to play. But if you understand theory, it is the easiest instrument to play, you
Yeah.
know? But I barely understand theory, so it's a great thing to learn piano. So when I go and try to learn other instruments, I don't have to pay a dude $30 an hour,
Right.
you know? Like
Right.
like that's what I think learning piano is great for. Is like, once you learn piano, you don't need a teacher anymore. You don't need to pay that guy unless you want a mentor. That's a different story. Like I'm gonna probably keep this guy because he can play many instruments, and I like him a lot
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
Yeah, man. If I were I'll compromise here. I'll make one resolution,
that's
and
what I'm
that
talking
is
about.
to be kind to myself.
Hell yeah. I don't even think I talked about my resolutions, but
Give
yeah,
me
no,
one. Give me one real quick.
I'll give you three, bro.
All right, hit me with
I'd
three.
be thinking about this shit. So one would be to just be organized. That's all. Organized, whatever that means. I don't
Yeah.
care what that means. If that means keeping my desk clean a little more, cool. If that means cleaning my room up, like making it in a better way, cool. Just be organized. And then I would say practice piano 10 more minutes
Yeah.
and leave the pressure at the door.
I love it.
Yeah. Like, I think those are three good ones because, again, small goals. I really don't. I don't think about. I've had to learn how to do this. I don't think about tomorrow. So like,
Hmm.
those are just goals that are probably going to be for today that I'll just carry on.
Yeah.
But it's a big thing, not like, and it's the weirdest thing because we're still talking about resolutions, but it is a big thing not to like, just worry about today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's overwhelming. The past is not true today, and the past doesn't. You know, it's funny. You only recall 10% of what like you remember from the past. So like,
Mm.
if you're sitting here thinking about that one moment that you're being awkward,
Yeah.
um, yeah, you probably don't remember the whole thing. You're probably awkward for like a second, and then the rest of it was great. You know?
Yeah, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good spot to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Thanks
bro.
everyone if you made it this far, and we will. Should I say it?
Say it.
See you next year.
Oh, I hate that. I hate
Yeah,
that.
I hate it too. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hell yeah. Peace, everybody. Happy New
Peace.
Year. I almost hit leave.